in the next city. And the sports bell is going to turn off with Francis, and of course, Ibakadabra Sport. Salu Ibrahim is here with me in the studio, and together we're going to take you now to 4:55 before we take a break and leave the studio till tomorrow 8 a.m. And after that, it will be the news breakdown here on 92.7 KUFM here in the next city. Marcus Rashford, we told you about him and all he's doing and the petition he has written. Okay, we're talking more on the petition and of course what the government have decided to do about it. And of course the project big picture is still being discussed. We already told you that the 20 clubs vehemently rejected it. So anyway, but it's still being spoken of as we get ourselves prepared, turn away from the international games, now turn our focus to the weekend games across major leagues in Europe. We'll take a look at the fixtures properly tomorrow, but the managers are speaking about it and how probably they can proffer a lasting solution to help the EFA clubs. Remember, we told you the EFA club consists of the Championship, the League One, League Two, and National League in England. Okay, also we'll be talking about the Nigerian Football Federation, what they think about the games the Super Eagles recently played on the 9th and 13th respectively. One with the Desert Forces of Nigeria and the other one with the Carthage Eagles of Tunisia. One we lost and one with they've summed up their thoughts about what happened. We're talking about what they said, and of course we also dive into the bout we are anticipating, talking about the Kruger Pulev and Anthony Joshua. Pulev they've been talking, he has been talking, and they are saying some stuff how they do to promote the boxing match that we are expecting. Once again, good evening. Let's dive into it, Brian. Let's start from the Nigerian Football Federation. They come out to say that the game that they witnessed, that is the Algeria game and of course the Tunisia game respectively, that they have decided that the Super Eagles have a lot to learn from. That hopefully by the time they play against Sierra Leone, which will be a double header home and away in November, that will be the next international break, that they must have learned from their mistakes that they made over these two games. But you look at it, maybe we felt he will be coming out of the woods then, but I don't know how fit he will be. Hopefully that Victor Osimhen will be fit. We know that they've since let them go.
Because Osimhen is actually fit.
Yeah, the reason why I used the word fit, we don't know what will happen tomorrow. But again, for now, he is fit and he's ready to play. Like you said in the morning, we can confirm that they've allowed them return back home. Ever since that time that they had the issue, they've actually allowed them to return back home. They be confirmed all negative, so they can play even this weekend. But like I said, we don't know tomorrow. It should be fit to play the next game for Nigeria. But looking at their own assumption, and should we not have different Didier and some of the guys back to help these guys and do better? What will the guys learn?
I'm not very sure of Wilfred Ndidi because the told us it might be up to 12 weeks. True. And if the next match is going to be in November, then I don't know whether he will be fit then. So we have got to start planning ahead. Just feel that we will have to play this game without Wilfred Ndidi. And unfortunately, he couldn't play in the last 2 games, the 2 international friendlies, and we saw how porous that midfield was. So we must have to look for a solution. But I think clearly we have seen something that will not work, and that is playing Sani Ajayi in that defensive midfield position. So Gennett Rohr will have to come with a strategy that will work for us. I think we should go for natural defensive midfield instead of playing with somebody. Yeah, he can play in the defensive midfield, but we know this guy has always played in the defense for the Super Eagles. He has also always played in the defense in his club. We are watching him, and that's where he plays. And he comes to the national team, you are playing him as a defensive midfielder. It didn't work in those 2 matches, and I don't think that it's going to suddenly magically work in the competitive games. Although the quality of the opposition is going to drop, it should not be Tunisia and Algeria that we're going to play again. But look, in whatever position, I think we should have competent replacements so that we don't have to start saying, because these guys didn't play. Yeah, I know in anything, there will be those guys that will always be starters if they are available. But you must prepare for a situation where they will not be able to play. It could be a red card, it could be they were suspended, it could be that they were injured, or it could be any other reason. What if they said that, well, at the time that Victor Moses retired from the national team, we thought we still needed him. But now I think we've gone past Victor Moses. There are so many wingers that we have in the national team right now. We're not lacking in that department. So we've got to now look at the areas where we've got some deficiencies and look at how to plug those holes. So I know that we learned so much from the 2 international friendlies, but he did not learn anything because he seemed to be saying he took look. Exactly. I did not hear him saying it. Well, as a coach, he's not supposed to come out and be lamenting, but he just kept saying he took positive. He took positive. The first time we lost, I took positive from the match against Tunisia, against Algeria, the one that we played out in draw. Yeah, I took positives. The first one against Algeria, he said we could have drawn that game. The second one that we drew, he said we could have won that game. And come on, I think we should get our acts together and really go for it, because the World Cup qualifiers and the Nations Cup qualifiers, we do not have any excuse not to qualify. So we have to seriously ensure that we
in qualifications,
we do well in those 2 matches.
Let's hope that the boys, the technical crew, they've learned something like the NFF have stated, and of course moving forward, hopefully we can become a greater team. Let's get back to number 1 in Africa. Let's get back to that number 5 level in the world. It's going to be difficult, but we've got some pretty good lads in camp right now, and if we effectively and efficiently utilize these guys, I think we can get to that height we got to in 1994. We've got some talented players in camp, but we need to do is to harness these skills properly, and we'll definitely get something from them. Okay, from the national news, talking about the international game now, to another one now. FIFPro, they've come out to say that the international break is kind of a negative thing, so to speak, to the players, not just the clubs now. Look at the number of games they have to play, and as well as when someone like Cristiano left Juve to Portugal, he tested negative for coronavirus. But during the course of the international games, the friendly, the UEFA Nations League, he contracted the virus. Now he's going back to Italy to self-isolate, and that probably might cause Juventus some gains both at the domestic level and at the continental level. Now they are saying that UEFA, they may have to rethink about this, or probably the FA, because of the deals that they've signed with their sponsors, probably Nike or Adidas, and the number of times they will have to put on the national team jersey. Hence, they are bringing these guys together. Probably don't follow the kind of scrutiny that the football clubs will follow in terms of the COVID-19 protocol.
Well, it is the age-long battle between the national teams and the football clubs. Every body wants to see matches, whether they are playing for their national teams or they are playing for their club. And you've got to really look at the players. We've got to watch out for the health of the players, because they are the ones who are out there playing, whether for the national teams or for their club side. FIFPro is the body that represents players worldwide. So they have every right to come out and say, hold on, I think we should look at the health of these players, because the advertisers, the big companies out there, they want these matches, and they even want the top players to always play because of what they would gain from it. So when you now have these international friendly matches, it's not something that the players can avoid. And FIFPro, they are saying that this is irresponsible given the COVID-19 outbreak and the number of times that the players have had to play matches. You remember we were talking about it a couple of days ago, and I said, look, when we were growing up, we were ready to play football for every day. 7 days a week, you can play for 3 or 4 times, depending on, with the amount of money that they are paying these guys. But the truth is, there is so much that the human body can take. Yeah, if you are talking about kids, that are not even in their teenage, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. These guys, of course, they have so much boundless energy, they can play and play and play, even 15, 16, But by the time you now turn pro and you have to do it every time, and remember, it's not just the matches, you have to train before you play matches. And sometimes you even get more exhausted in training before matches. And if you are not careful, if you are not scientific with your training methods, you could even overwork yourself. We've seen that. We've seen that happen several times. One case in particular, I'll take you back to 2001, Nigeria against France, the final of the Under-17 World Cup. You said the coach that Musa Abdullahi of blessed memory. If you watch that match, we beat France 2-1 in the first game we played in that tournament. Yeah. But the final game against France, we were beaten 3-0. Yeah. Our boys could not even run. They were just heavy. And later we got to hear that the coach overloaded them with training because he wanted them to be very fit. But fortunately, it was overdone, and the day they got to repeat, they could not really play. And even some clubs, we have seen clubs having some issues when they are playing, and then we get to hear stories that it is the training method that was too strenuous, and that's why they are unable to. So we've also got to look at that. These guys, they train and then they come to play matches. If you have like 3 matches in a week and you have trainings in between, it takes a whole lot out of the players. And then FIFA have said, look, this international friendly games that we played this last couple of days, that it was irresponsible given the coronavirus pandemic and so many other things that is going on, that we should not have had those international friendlies. And you look at Europe, for instance, they've got international friendlies, and there are also the Nations League matches going on. Some others even play the qualifiers for the Euro 2020, and so it's just so much, and the players do not even have opportunities to rest. There is the risk of contracting coronavirus. There is the risk of injuries. There is the risk of players just physically breaking down because of the number of times they are out there playing. So I agree with FIFPro. I think we should be more considerate about the players.
Okay, we'll go for a first break on the show this wonderful Thursday evening. When we come back, we'll tell you more of what we have for you first this evening's edition of Sport Fiesta exclusive. Please stay with us.
Ticket to win for the 9 Mobile Mega Millions promo. 90 people go home 1 million naira every day for 90 days. 2 people go win smartphones every hour, every day. The one who wins pass now the 10 million naira grand prize. If you not be 9 Mobile customer, move, come outside or buy a new line. In addition to the 20 millions and smartphones, we go summer you with 1 gigabyte plus 500 naira airtime instanta plus up to 100% data bonus for 1 year. Recharge 200 naira and above. Make you for the win. Promo starts August 10 and ends November 7, 2020 and is approved by FCCPC.
9 Mobile. What happens when a woman who has lived a sheltered life discovers everything has been a lie? How will she handle the secrets, betrayal, and deceit?
How did I not know this about my father?
Will she rise to the occasion?
You can't let these people take over what your father has built.
And find the strength to overcome.
Power isn't given, it's taken.
Watch one woman's rise to the top against the odds in the new Africa Magic Original. Inahe starts on the 28th of September and showing Mondays to Fridays at 8 p.m. on Africa Magic Showcase Channel 151 on DSTV.
Devil Kiss cooking oil. Now ogbonge oil we fresh well and the price now carry go. It gets tamper proof and it dey for different sizes. So as it is sweet your belly, it is sweet your pocket. Oh yeah, jolly inside better. Go buy Devil Kiss oil for shop when near you.
Thank you so much for still with us on the show this lovely Thursday evening. Okay, moving ahead now. We're just talking about the NFF and the response to what happened to 2 international games we played, and of course the FIFPro talking about these games might just be too much for these players, and of course we look at their health and of course what they have to go through and all that. I doubt if the FAs will even listen to what they are saying. Okay, let's talk about Marcus Rashford. We spoke about his petition in the morning while on the show. We congratulated him and also spoke about what he is doing anyway when he got the MBE and all the stuff. Now the government have come out to reject calls from him to extend the free school meal scheme to include half-term and Christmas holidays. That yes, being in school, yeah, we can do that, but extending it, we can't. The problem definitely will still be there. The reason why he's calling for this is for them to try to eradicate the child food poverty from the system, but neglecting them, which we know that if the UK government wants to continue feeding its kids even on Christmas holiday, then they can. If you don't help the poor, then Christmas isn't Christmas. The purpose is defeated already.
Yeah, but I think what they have always done is the school feeding. Is when the schools are in session, and he has succeeded in getting them to extending it to a certain level, but maybe they feel that it will be asking for too much to say they should continue it, which would mean virtually doing it all year round. That should be the ideal thing to do, but maybe they feel they don't have the resources, which I find a bit ridiculous, but that's what I think they're trying to say, that they do not have the resources to go all out and still continue doing this thing, because there are so many other things that the government has to.
But Brian, right now, schools in the UK, because of the second wave, are closed down and the kids are at home. Right now, you're not feeding them. Why don't you use this opportunity to extend it? To take it down.
They have, if you follow Piers Morgan on Twitter, you'll see how he has been on the case of the British government. He's been saying some nasty things about them. Even said Marcus Rashford is the number 10 that should be ruling the country and not Boris Johnson. So they've been criticized. The way they've handled the pandemic has not gone down well with many people, and the way they've even gone about the social welfare package has really been criticized by some other people. So with Marcus Rashford starting this other fight, I hope he's successful, so that these school children, even though they are not in school, they can keep getting the benefit. But it's even the government who will tell you their own revenue too has dwindled because of COVID. It's hitting everybody. Sometimes people will want you to do something for them, and they are telling you, COVID has affected businesses. Well, it is the organization that you are appealing to give you discounts because you've been affected by COVID. They've also been affected, so it's something that affects the whole world. But Marcus Rashford is fighting a very good fight, even if the government is the one that he feels he can hold and say, look, it's your responsibility to do some of these things. But I believe that his fights could even attract private individuals who would come together and say, okay, this is what we can do to see if we can sustain the government school feeding program.
All right, let's leave Marcus' case and let's go to another fantastic father of football. Call him Arsene Wenger. Fantastic manager. He has not told us if he's retired just yet, but right now he's with FIFA. He's the chief of global football development for FIFA. Now he has won that 92 clubs in England. Obviously, when you come from Premier League down, that's when you have 92. Maybe too many to survive with what we're having right now, and that in this game must be restructured, but only on sporting merit.
Exactly. It's some of the things that people have been saying with what's happening. That's why some clubs even attempted to do the project big picture. But as Wenger is someone who knows a whole lot about English football, having managed Arsenal for so many years. So when he gives advice, I think they should listen to it. I think COVID, this coronavirus pandemic, has exposed so many things. The structure of some institutions are just not what will work, so they've got to now look at alternatives, what they can do. maybe now they will have to think up new ways of sustaining the current structure of football in the United Kingdom.
Okay, still talking about Wenger, he also defended Mesut Ozil. Let me just quote an excerpt from him. He said, "If Ozil cannot play in the Europa League, I'm sorry, but this guy has won things. He's a world champion. He's an exceptional football player, and he doesn't understand why what is happening to Ozil at Arsenal is even happening to him."
He brought Ozil to Arsenal. Arsene Wenger, we know, doesn't like spending money, but in the case of Ozil, he virtually broke the bank to bring him from Real Madrid to Arsenal, so he knows the qualities of Ozil. And on his day, Ozil is still one of the finest playmakers in world football. I think it's not his quality that is in doubt, it is his attitude. That is what is really creating the problems. But maybe Arsenal too could have handled it better. Maybe I really don't understand what is going on, because I do not see Ozil as somebody who is headstrong, somebody who is a troublemaker and all that. I believe that if they had really communicated properly, they could have been able to trash out all of these issues. So I don't know. I hope, like Arsene Wenger says, they will find a way to settle the whole issue. But it seems clear that Arsenal do not want him, and they are looking for a way. But last I had, Arsenal were looking for a way that they can mutually terminate his contract, because it's not working. Apparently they don't want him to play, and he wants to see out his contract and keep receiving the £350,000 that they are paying him. But if they can just come to a compromise and then let him play for the last time, couple of I think he has 1 year left on his contract, so that he can play, and then when they part ways, it will be amicably.
All right, coming with some good news for Arsenal. Thomas Partey and Tierney in contention to face Man City this weekend. So good news for Arsenal. I don't know if many are around here, but if you are a Western United fan, this is good news for you. Said Rahman is currently having his medical right now at West Ham. He agreed to move 3 hours after we left the studio, and it's already in England, so it's true. He's having his medicals. All things go well for you guys. He will be a player between now and the end of the window, which is beautiful, tomorrow. Okay, that's the bad data as far as football is concerned. Let's shift our attention now to the bout we are waiting between Pulev and Joshua, and this is what Pulev said about Anthony Joshua. They asked him about Joshua and his strength. He replied, his strength? I'll say he has a very powerful punch, undeniably. What are his other strengths? His stance is better than mine. Now, let me break it down. That's the body skin color, 5 past my own. That's what he did not racially abuse AJ, but he's saying that
is what?
His stand. It's one of mine. But again,
I think it is people could interpret that to be inappropriate. I don't see why he would make reference to Anthony Joshua's skin, although he might be joking. But remember, Kubrat Pulev was the guy that was being interviewed by a female journalist, and he kissed her after she was done with the interview. She laughed when the whole thing happened, but later a lawyer got involved, and they were even going to sue him. They even suspended him for some time and asked him to go for orientation on how to deal with the opposite sex. He apologized later, so maybe he doesn't really know how to, really say things in public so that it doesn't end up offending some people. But I don't see any reason why he should be. If they were of the same race, if Anthony Joshua were white, and maybe he has spent some time in sunny climates in the tropics, and he now acquires a tan. That's how I'll understand. Okay, you are both white guys, but one is a bit darker because of tanning. So it makes sense there. But when somebody is a black man, you can see that this guy is clearly black, and you make a reference to the difference of your skin color. Look, as I said, though, it could be that you just innocently said it means nothing, but people could interpret it in a different way. So you should be careful. Remember the Man City players?
Bernardo Silva
and Benjamin Mendy, when he made reference to the chocolate doll being like that. This was Benjamin Mendy when he was a baby, you know. And these guys are friends. Even Benjamin Mendy came out to say he liked the comment. He said he wasn't offended by it, but we know what happened. He even, I think he was fined and even missed a game because of that incident. So you should be very, very careful when you make any reference to a person's race, a person's skin color, when you are not of the same race. It could be interpreted to be racist. But let's see what will happen on that day when they fight against each other. It's something that we are eagerly waiting for. They've told us now it's going to be on the 12th of December. Let's get to see that fight.
Okay, that's what is going on and what of sport in the next couple of minutes once we officially open the phone lines for you.
Yeah, but this one in athletics. Okay. Daniel Wanjiru of Kenya, the guy who won the 2017 London Marathon, he has been banned from athletics until 2023 for doping. He was provisionally suspended before, but now it has been confirmed. He was provisionally suspended in April. He denied taking a prohibited substance and he requested a tribunal. The Athletics Integrity Unit, that's the AIU, they have now confirmed that the 28-year-old ban is going to be in place until the 8th of December 2023. His management team said that they are disappointed by the decision and they will consider an appeal through the Court of Arbitration for Sports. They said they've provided a valid explanation. They brought experts who provided a valid explanation for the anomalous blood value, and they have demonstrated how unlikely and unrealistic the doping scenario as presented by the World Athletics was. And they emphasized that no prohibited substance has ever been found in his system, and they believe that he is innocent. But the AIU, they said that Daniel Wanjiru, who was tested 16 times between April 2017 and 2019, that it was in his 14th test on the 9th of March 2019, he showed elevated levels of hemoglobin concentration, and they concluded that the change in levels between tests could not be explained by any other cause than blood manipulation. So that's why he has now been suspended until 2023. And by the way, in case you are wondering, Daniel Wanjiru is not related to the other Kenyan marathon runner, Samuel Wanjiru, who unfortunately died a couple of years ago. I think in 2018 now that he died. We don't know for sure. No conclusive evidence about that incident. He jumped from a building, a story building, but whether he jumped or was pushed, the wife said her son was murdered. He was involved in so many things. He was married, in fact married to 3 different women at the same time. Okay. And one of his wives, the one that he was legally living with, came home and met him in his apartment with another woman. So she locked both of them in the room. So it was whether he was trying to jump from the balcony, try to get to another apartment so he could come down, and I don't know, or maybe he just felt, okay, this is too much, and he
took his life,
jumped from the building and then brutally killed himself. We don't really know, but some of the experts that the family hired said that it's like he was hit with something either after he fell or before he fell from the building. So that was Samuel Wanjiru, fantastic marathon runner. He was doing great stuff, but suddenly his life just went like that.
All right, time for you to be part of the show. Now remember, the numbers are 0706-263-9275 or 0903-939-4427 plus 0812-178-9154. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Danjuma.
Hello, Tunde. I must greet you. Good evening.
Greet you too, Danjuma.
Where that guy know they make me for Anthony Joshua. Like I used to say, me to every time they come like that, we guys they make much about Nigeria guys. For inside ring now, I made them deal with the way. So December 12th, me Anthony Joshua deal with that guy. So not only I just see they collect 3 points to get to her because they got 1 point for their points because of that match they not play.
Yeah.
Maybe why they don't have play? I think at the Napoli United they no go another match.
Yeah, but Syria say that one not be force major. So I don't know. Maybe they can still appeal and get that thing.
Because they really follow these people so that they know go.
Yes, I understand. It's like say maybe Bender Insurance now one go play match. Then from Edo State, the health ministry said no, you cannot travel because of the situation that we have. You guys need to self-isolate. They were even in their training ground. Then so maybe because they no go play against Enyimba because they deduct 3 points from them. I mean, I don't think that makes sense. But as we said, maybe now they no communicate well.
Hopefully, they can resolve this whole issue. I think it's unfair for Napoli to deduct 3 points. It's fact 4 actually. 3 given to Napoli and 1 given to the Italian Federation. Hello. Yes, good evening, brother.
I want to know my.
Sorry.
Hello.
With you, because your name was close for. Oh, sorry. I was trying to get to against the network there. Just try and call us very well. Numbers are 0706263975 or 0903939447 plus 081217899154. Hello, caller. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good evening.
My name is Isabel, first time caller.
Oh, yeah, first time caller. What's your name again? Sorry.
Tifa.
Okay. You officially welcome to the family, my brother.
Please, that my friend time for you to go. I want to really see you guys do.
The wing?
Is a striker.
He's a striker, right forward. Yeah.
He's a striker.
It's a young boy. He's going to be 19.
Which guy? Is that from Uruguay?
Uruguay, Facundo.
Okay. I thought it was
Cavani. Yeah. Well, it's 18, 19, then 19 by next month. Don't really know when next month. Will be 19 by next month. Hello.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Francis.
Good evening.
It's me, Chris, from Guinea.
Okay.
National Bank. I would love Ozzy to be part of that team. I just hope that as a leader, he'll be able to use his own influence with Arsenal to make sure that the sponsor Ozzy and Mikel. Because if Ozzy, part of his team behind Ozzy, I will see Arsenal doing well, better than what they are doing now. I just hope because I won't like to see Arsenal going down just like last season. And Ibrahim and Francis, God bless you. To be Rosa from the work on that they do. Then for players and Joshua, in fact, anything where players like make it a talk. Make it talk because that day, when the power of mind will knock on down that day.
Okay.
Thank you and God bless you.
Bless you too, brother. Hello.
Yeah, that's Francis. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, my brother. Please tell us your name.
Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome.
Yes.
Yeah, this is from behind the station. I don't know, Ibrahim, first of all, what will be your Twitter and I don't look for you for Twitter prior.
Sorry?
I said I don't look for your handle for Twitter prior. What will be your Twitter handle?
At IB tweets. At IB, then TW.
IB.
Yes, TWITS. At IB tweets.
IBT.
IB tweets. Make I spell them for you. Wait, no. Make I spell them for you.
Okay, spell them for me.
IB.
Okay.
TW.
Okay, TW.
ITS.
ITS.
Yes. IB tweets at IB tweets as in tweets to tweet something. Tweets. Yes,
Okay,
tweets.
thank you.
Yeah.
Sir, so sorry. Your voice is breaking. I don't know if it's raining out there. But apologies. Just try to call us again, okay? Hello. Sorry. Hello.
Hello, good evening, Mr.
Yes, good evening.
This is Mark, calling from Depot.
You're first time calling back. Welcome from Depot. Welcome to the family.
Right, thank you for the good work. God will bless you now. God will reward you now.
Thank you.
I want to know the extent of Admiral injury, and that is back.
We no information about that, but don't worry, we'll be able to tell you all these things when we come tomorrow, especially in the evening when the managers have held their press conferences, especially Arsenal, Mikel Arteta will hold his own press conference tomorrow. Then we cannot tell you news about your team regarding the weekend.
Okay, thank you for the good work. God bless you. Good night.
Hello?
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
My name is Gift.
Okay, Gift, talk to us.
I want to know, I was hearing that just want to resign Victor Moses. I don't know if it is true or...
Just want to resign Victor Moses.
That's what I was hearing. But
He's just a
player now, so how can they resign their player? They want to send him alone.
They want to bring him back to Stamford Bridge.
He is already at Stamford Bridge, so the thing is really should go to Moscow. But the deal has stalled. They are trying to see how they can get. When is the? What's today?
Today's Thursday.
No. The dates.
Today is 15 rather, 15th of October.
I think it's 16th that everything will end.
Yeah, that's tomorrow.
Yeah. So if they are unable to offload him before 16th, then they'll be stuck with him for till at least January.
Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Can you walk away from the radio set, please, or help us to turn down the volume on it?
Where are you living?
Alright, talk to us.
Good evening. Son of Mark from Benin.
Son of Mark from Benin, okay, talk to us.
The other case that I heard that is going to Italy. I thought that they have to stay in job for 2 days for isolation. After they allow you to fly to other countries.
Alright, I'll explain this one to you. Ronaldo is a superstar and he's got his own private jet, which he flew into Italy and boarded his own private vehicle that took him straight to where he's isolating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then, it's not going to meet Barcelona supposed to be match.
We don't know. We don't know yet. If it been tested again, anything, until next week, that's complete. All right, thank you.
I hope you say that. I hope you don't lose that match because I don't have to know any excuse so that another person will not play because another not play. That's why Barcelona need the match.
If he doesn't play in his own leg, he will be playing. He's not going to win. It's not as if it's a straight game. Thank you. All right. Hello.
Hello, how you doing, brother?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm cool.
Okay, please tell us your name, where you're calling us from.
Yeah, this is Okuzu calling from Alpha Nation.
Okay.
Actually, I'm happy about where the president is. I learned that you guys said they want to honor some footballers, some sportsmen that have labored, and some that died. They want to honor them. But please, I want apology to be honored. Apology should be among those who will be honored on that very fateful day. Because that man died on a pitch of play. And since then, I believe he had family. I don't know if he has wife and kids. So it's hard time federal government in the country to start, acknowledging those people, past heroes, that have related for this country. But again, it's not for them to be enriching themselves. Like all the senators and the executive of this country. It's our time to start, channeling resources to those people that really need it. So we should start encouraging ourselves. All those, look at the facilities we have in the country. Most of them are very bad. You know, it's our time we start investing on humanity, showing love to humanity. You understand? Let's start celebrating those now that they are alive. But those that have died in the past, the government should start encouraging them. They have family. Remember them. You understand? People that labor in this nation should be remembered. I'm not talking about those that invest our money, those who can do the opportunities. No, those people, those noble men. You know, those noble men.
Thank you. All right, thank you. We get that. But we have to go for this break.
Yeah, 60 sporting icons that the government said they are going to honor to celebrate Nigeria's 60th. And I think it's tomorrow that they will list the names, the 16th of October.
I'll be right back.
Long time ago, in a village under siege, the fate of a ruthless king lies on a prophecy that must not be fulfilled.
Rebellion looms, and a child born under the rising of the dark moon will be your downfall.
Nobody can take my kingdom from me. My father is not fit to be the king. Something must give.
Riona starts on the 28th of September and showing Mondays to Fridays at 8:30 p.m. on Africa Magic Showcase, channel 151 on DSTV.
And we are back, and thank you so much for staying with us. Back to the phone lines very shortly. We will be taking a look at the messages as well. Hello, yes, with you. Okay, talk to us.
I want to know whether they come for injury.
Who?
Whether they don't come back for injury.
We can't say, bro. We have to wait for all the managers to speak at the
because it is the one this lucky career for Madrid. If not, he not so for Madrid, come back to Chelsea players, with a player that may come for Chelsea. Be seen that for Chelsea.
All right, thank you. Yeah. Hello. Hello.
Hello, good evening, Francis and the guy Zion.
I'm going to do that from Okoro.
Not in the game, they are calling from Okoro.
All right, talk to us.
Yeah, thank you very much for the analysis. I must commend you guys. And again, it was a surprise last night to see England lost to Denmark. Nobody thought that is not coming. Well, it's okay. That is the beauty of football. Sometimes it does happen that way. And of course, Reece James was particularly very good in that encounter, except the fact that he got recorded at the after the 90 minutes was then adopted. What is saying? It's okay. And I want to also know the update regarding N'Golo Kante injury and that of Ben Chilwell. I really don't know how they are faring, and they're going to be part of weekend game for Chelsea. And also, I also want to find out the situation report regarding the return of our league, NPFL. Because it's becoming unbecoming, if you ask me, because from the feelers we are getting, no doubt that the CAF competition and the CAF championship league begins next month. And what happened? What become of Enyimba, the two United, and of course, Canopilla and the River United for continental engagement? And now, they don't even know where they are now, the players. They are not really training as is supposed, and the government seems not to actually be interested in all of those things. I think it's a hard time for all the journalists, all the fans, all the people to gather.
Hold on. I don't think it's right for us to say the government is not interested. If you listen to us in the morning, and our bulletins as well in the morning, we spoke about how the Minister of Youth and Sports, Sunday Dare, has been working around the clock to ensure that contact sports they resume. Now they've sent their proposal down to the PTA, that the President tax was on for approval. Now, you don't expect football clubs to start training when they've not lifted the bans. That's why.
Yeah, I understand. I wasn't lamenting generally. Because you know what I'm saying is going to affect those things. Continentally, it's going to affect them no matter. No, it's not going to work for you. That's just the truth. So we better do the needful before it's too late. Thank you very much. I do have a blessed evening.
All right, let's take a look at the messages now.
All right, so many of them here. See, this one reads, good day, KU sports ambassadors. How is Bale in the situation at Tottenham, and any hope of him resuming soon from the Busaza?
He's training. We hear he might make the squad this weekend.
Good evening, Sport Gurus. Wishing a happy birthday to one of the most creative midfielder of our generation. So the system is acting up. Let's see if I can. I'm trying to get the message. The system is hanging. Okay. Yes, Rashford has done well and we applaud him. But let's also talk about his very poor form and overhyped footballer as for Maguire. I remember Francis praising him. Look, I don't understand. You'll be talking about one thing, somebody will bring something else. We're talking about Marcus Rashford doing well, getting the attention of the government and making them to feed children that are hungry. That's what we have. Why should they be bringing the... When we want to talk about the form of Marcus Rashford, we're talking about Manchester United or England. That's when we can talk about that. We're talking something else and you're bringing the form of Marcus Rashford. This one says, Ibrahim, please don't patronize us. Maguire, meaning we dig in Benin. It's not true. Sorry, let me read it again. Ibrahim, please don't patronize us. Maguire, meaning we dig in Benin. Really, is that what it means?
I don't know.
It's not true to his name. He does not dig because the system is malicious. I'll get to that message again. It has disappeared. Good day, please. What's the use of the UEFA Nations League when there is the Euro qualifiers, and what happened to Dominic Solanke, Denny from the Dubai? The Euro Nations League is a different competition from the Euros.
Yeah, qualifiers are different.
Yeah, completely different competitions. Good day, Ibrahim. Please call Dr. Ken to share his opinion with us on the just concluded MBA. My name is USA 94. Oh, really? Well, you'll have told us much earlier.
Yeah.
The MBA is gone for some days now. Good day, KU Sports. I think Maguire just needs some time to cool his legs off. He is quite a fantastic footballer. Man United just need to try out a new center pairing. Massive shout out to Mr. Brother Dolo from Upper Ikawa. I think maybe you should rephrase the words if you want me to read everything. Good day, guys. Dinatro has no tactical plan for Super Eagles. He should be changed as Super Eagles coach. 4 years as Eagles coach, no formation in Eagles play. He should go from Mr. Aston. Good evening, Sports Gurus. Wishing a happy birthday to one of the most creative midfielders of our generation, Mesut Ozil. Can't wait to see you kick the ball again. No Thomas, no Partey. Arsenal till death from Upper St. Saviour. Yeah, so we've got this message back. Ibrahim, please don't patronize us. Maguire, meaning we dig in Benin, is not true to his name. He does not dig because he is digging with cutlass from Rare Raga.
Maguire means digging in Benin?
I can't make any sense of that. Good day, man of sport. Super Eagles coach had failed not only with the result but also with his tactics. Maduka Okoye is Okoye, not Okore. I think he has proven himself. Okay, let me take this one yesterday. Oda Ibrahim and Co. Good evening. I am not happy with the formation that the Nigerian coach is making. So, kudos to the guys. I think this one took him yesterday. Good evening, Sports Bonus. Please, what's the fate of William Saliba in Arsenal? Is he still going out on loan? Arsenal till debt from Upper Santiago. Saliba is at Arsenal.
He's still at Arsenal.
He went on loan, but he came back this season. I don't think he deserves it. Sports, many people should want Ife Agaba. Just 2 punches from Tyson Fury. Agaba will collapse from Richard. Really? What makes you think just 2 punches
no, I disagree totally.
From Agaba, Tyson Fury will not collapse? For me, I'm okay with the Eagles lineup. That's the strongest lineup ever. I am John from Saturday Road. Good evening, sportsmen of KFM and the lady in the house. Tell my mama say I don't see wife when like sports.
That's nice.
Well, I want to wish my darling Super Eagles the best of luck. Okay, I think this one came
in before the game.
Yeah, because I was asking him the match of the show. Like Brother Della from Upper Ekama. Okay, so you don't tell him mama say you don't see my phone like so. Good evening. And then from Upper Mission, please, is Ricochet still in Raw? Oh, I give you if you were not listening. I don't know. I can't remember whether he went to Raw or he was the SmackDown. But we mentioned all the
realistic one more.
Good evening, Ibrahim. I am Austin from Alliance. Please, no food at home. Okay. This is not the problem. So,
alright, guys. I understand, guys. We totally do understand, but this is where I have to do the content on the show. Let me just stop it there. I'll be back here tomorrow by 8 a.m. Do have yourself a wonderful night, Tristan. Bye bye.